Welcome to Confessions of a Godly Wife. I'm Eunice, and I'm your spiritual midwife and coach, and I help wives find joy in the midst of a broken marriage. Today is the first episode of a new mini series that the Holy Spirit dropped into my spirit, and it's entitled The Real Wonder Woman. In the introductory episode, I talked about how much I really loved and admired Wonder Woman while I was growing up, and how to me she represented what a powerful woman really looked like. And as I grew into a woman, I realized that the things that I admired about her are the same things that God placed inside of me and you too, warrior wife. This series is a journey into unwrapping the things that made Wonder Woman who she was and how some of those characteristics are exemplified in us because we are warriors too. By day, she looked ordinary, but when it was time, she stepped into who she really was. When we look at Wonder Woman, a lot of times we may focus on her strength, the battles that she fought, and her victories, but there's something just as powerful, and that's her identity. Because before she's Wonder Woman, she lived as Diana Prince. Now, Diana Prince appeared ordinary. She had that good government job. She was able to blend in. She functioned in everyday life and she did exactly what she needed to do. But when the time was right, she stepped into her true identity, who she really was. And the truth is, many wives are living the same way. We exist in one identity while we carry another. There are two identities at work, the natural and the spiritual. And the natural, you are a wife, you're a mother, you're a sister, you handle your responsibilities, you're navigating life, you're raising your children, you're taking care of your parents, you're showing up for whatever is in front of you. This is the identity that people see. This is the one that usually gets recognized the most. But in the spirit, oh, your identity is completely different because you are not just a wife. You are an intercessor. You are not just a woman. You are a warrior. You're not just existing. You have authority. Your prayers carry weight. Your words carry power. And your position carries influence in realms that you cannot see. And what does that mean? It means that whenever you pray, you're not just speaking, you are shifting things. And when you stand, you are not just enduring, you are enforcing something spiritually. When you refuse to give up, you're not just being strong, you're operating from a place of authority. This is the revelation. The greatest limitation for many wives is not a lack of power, but it's a lack of awareness. Because you can't walk in an identity that you don't recognize. So many of us wives, we're living like Diana Prince. We respond to life naturally, we react emotionally, we carry things in our own strength. But we don't realize that there is a Wonder Woman identity available to you. Until that identity is revealed, you're going to continue to fight spiritual battles with a natural mindset. And that's why you're frustrated. That's why you're exhausted because you're trying to handle something naturally that was never meant to be handled that way. This is why Ephesians 6 and 12 reminds us, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This is why we have to lean into our spiritual identity and let that be the one that leads and guides us. So here we have Wonder Woman and we have the warrior wife. Both are living in two realities: the natural life, where again we show up, we handle our responsibilities, we do what needs to be done. And then our true identity, that is revealed when it's needed. That is in the spirit, and that's where you carry your authority and your power. But here's the difference. This is something I want you to really think about. Wonder Woman knows when to shift, but many wives don't. What this means is there are moments in life where you should be standing in authority, but you shrink back. Maybe it's because you're afraid, you have doubt or unbelief, or maybe it's just a lack of understanding. There are also moments where you should be praying with boldness, but then you hesitate. Moments where you should be fighting spiritually, but you stay in a natural response. And this matters because when the moment comes, you really have to already know who you are. So here's a question I want you to ask yourself. Which version of you have you been living from? Is it the one that people see or the one that God has called you to? I want you to understand something. You're not just who people see. You're not limited to the natural or to what your life looks like on the outside. There is another dimension to who you are. And when it's time, you have to be ready to step into it because you are the one that God has called. And every warrior wife carries a power that the world cannot see because the real battle was never just physical. I hope this message was a blessing to you. And as we close out this second episode, I want to remind you that we are going on a journey because Wonder Woman is more than a symbol. She represents identity, truth, and purpose. And in this mini series, we are covering what it truly means to walk as a warrior wife, aligned, equipped, and unshaken in who God has called us to be. This journey is more than about what you do, it's about who you are. Because before you put on the armor, you have to be aligned. And that's the foundation of my newest book, Aligned, a Journey of Self-Love. Take a few minutes, check out the link in my description to find out more about this book. But ladies, if you're ready to grow, to heal, and to fully step into your identity, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Share it with another warrior wife and stay connected for what's coming next.